Greetings, I'm Ricky R. LaVauri, author of the Bible study, The Indignation, a Bible study on the book of Nahum. In this video, I'll be reading the questions from Lesson 3 of the book. Now, there would be pauses between the questions, but it would be a really great idea to pause the video yourself so you can hear the question, and then write your answers on paper, or if you have a Word doc or something of that nature on the computer, or even your phone. Of course, this is only one lesson, so to experience the entire book, make sure to get a copy from Amazon.com or various retailers where books are sold. Lesson 3, God's Vengeance. The main text is from Nahum chapter 1, verses 1 through 5. Question 1. Who was given a message to deliver for God? Nahum chapter 1, verse 1. Question 2. How does Nahum describe God? Nahum chapter 1, verse 2. Question 3. Nahum isn't the only person to list God as a being of vengeance. Read what is listed in Psalms and explain why the people of Israel were calling for him to appear. Psalms chapter 94, verses 1 through 5. Even the prophet Joel spoke about God's vengeance. What would Joel say will result from those who come against God's people? Joel chapter 3, verses 19 through 21. Question 5. Why did the people of Israel count God's vengeance as a positive attribute from the earlier questions? Can we view God's vengeance positively in our lives? Explain. Question 6. What characteristic is associated with God? This is found in Nahum chapter 1, verse 3, Exodus chapter 34, verses 6 through 7, Psalms 103, verses 6 through 9, and 2 Peter chapter 3, verses 8 through 9. Question 7. Think about your life when times are rough. What solace can you derive from knowing the characteristics listed in question 6 about God? Question 8. As Christians, how can we apply the characteristics associated with God? Question 9. God was so compassionate that Jonah allowed it to affect his ministry. What did Jonah do, and what request did he make to God? It's found in Jonah chapter 1, verses 1 through 3, and chapter 4, verses 1 through 3. Question 10. Jonah was wrong for his idea and behavior, and God called him out on it in the book of Jonah chapter 4. However, looking at this prophet's situation, remember that Assyria had come in, pillaged and murdered, sacked and exiled many of the residents. Then Jonah received a call to save them. Think about a person, group, or another nation committing atrocities to the people you know and love. Then God comes to you and requests to save their life. Could you complete God's request? Or would you have a similar reaction as Jonah? Question 11. What did Jesus say about how we should treat our enemies? And how can you apply that in your daily interactions? Matthew chapter 5, verses 43 through 48. Question 12. What does Nahum use as an examples of God's power and authority? Nahum chapter 1, verses 4 through 5. And the last question, question 13. To explain God's power and authority, what natural phenomena would you use? Thank you so much once again for your support. Make sure to pick out Indignation on wherever books are sold. Have a blessed and wonderful day.